All right, so let's spend a little time talking about headlines today. Headlines are great. We need them. We know them. We love them. We wrote a piece of content and now it needs a headline. But not just any headline. You need a headline that actually works. So let's talk about some things that you can do to get people to actually click on the stuff that you wrote. So the first thing you need to do is ask yourself this one question. Why should I care? Right? It sounds cliche, but why should I waste my time clicking on something? We're busy. We have 24 hours in a day. Time is limited. So if I'm going to give you my time, which Brian created a whole video about how time is our most valuable resource, I need to know what's in it for me. You know, we are very self-motivated as a society. We need to know that that we're going to benefit from this. So any way that you can do that, whether it be explaining the benefits of something or a how-to, whatever it is that you can do to guarantee them that they're going to get something out of this will benefit you. The next thing you need to do is be simple. And simple doesn't mean common or generic. It just means, use some simple language, simply express what's going to be in that piece and why they're going to benefit. Next thing you need to do is, all right, and bear with me here, but I think, my opinion and from what I've seen and done, listicles have been said to be cheap, right? 10 ways, 5 things, using numbers, but it's not cheap. Because here's what using a listicle and positioning your headline with a number does. It basically guarantees the reader that they're going to access information quickly. So they don't have to read through a whole lot to get the gist of what's going on there, because usually when you have a piece like that, everything is kind of compartmentalized. So you're guaranteeing them that they're going to receive information quickly. And that is why I suggest using numbers in your headlines when applicable. Here's another thing you can do. You can contradict a popular belief. And this, gets a little controversial and risky, but, if you want to be sassy, you can, when you're writing something, you can actually position that headline so that it contradicts something that, ordinarily we would believe, because that gets people intrigued. And really the takeaway here is anything that's going to have a reader stop and say, huh? How is that possible? Anything really outrageous, 2 dogs take on a crowd of beavers at the local farmer's market. What? It really stops you in your tracks there. So anything that's going to cause a little bit of controversy, I would highly recommend putting in your headline. Here's another thing. SEO keywords are, everybody's talking about them still. They're important. So, you should focus on those as well. And they're not the be all and end all, right? We talk about meaning making a lot here because it's not just about SEO. It's about what your audience is really looking for. So you should really know your audience when you're selecting keywords, but it is important. So, use a tool like Google Keyword Planner or, a paid tool like SEO Moz. Whatever you do, try to stick a keyword in there, especially, if that's one of your goals in content creation. Here's another one. Make sure that the most important information of your headline, and I know we're working in a small space here, you're not going to have these, paragraphs, but in that one headline, make sure that you kind of stuff the most important stuff to the beginning, because again, we have short attention spans and we're moving very quickly. So if you can get people to know what that piece is going to be about in the first few words, instead of them having to read the rest of it, and a lot of what helps here is using active voice instead of passive voice, and just, keeping it, again, simple. We'll go back to the beginning, and that kind of thing would really help you. And here's something that you should not do. You should not make clickbaity headlines, because nobody wants to read that crap. You see this great headline, you're like, wow, I can't wait to learn about this. You click on it, it's nothing like what you were expecting, not at all. So what does that mean? When they see your content again and they go, oh, this guy again, I'm not clicking that because he just sets me up and BS's me. Nobody wants that, and even though you might get a lot of clicks on the first one, nobody's coming back to read more of your nonsense when they know you're not giving them what you're saying you're going to give them. So don't do it. And those are basically my top headline writing tips. Keep it simple. There's a lot of tools out there these days where you could drop a headline in and have them analyze it for you. There's a lot of tools out there that even give you, headline suggestions. So I would check those out if you want to have a little bit of fun. But, at the very least, stick to the basics. And these are the basics.